Okay, so welcome to your Tuesday evening slow flow. Have everything you need, blocks, props, all that good stuff, and then come to face the long edge of your mat. And just kind of sit in the middle somewhere. We'll be moving around, and if you've never done moon salutations before, they're quite fun once you get into it. Lots of hip stuff, lots of side stretching, so really nourishing actually for the evening. Great. Okay, so come to find a comfortable seat. And you might actually want to take Baddha Konasana if that's comfortable for you. You can always support it if you want to start opening up your hips a little bit straight away, or just easy seat is cool as well. Just be mindful we've got some nice length in the spine, crown of head towards the sky, pelvis nice and heavy, rooting down through your sit bones. Nice, maybe a couple of shoulder rolls. And when you feel like you found your shape, just settle into it. Make any last adjustments and then commit to the stillness. This is always a battle for me. I'm a fidget for sure. So yeah, make those last little movements and then try your best to stay still. And wherever you are, take a nice long exhale. And we'll breathe in through the nose. And we'll just take a nice sigh out through the mouth. Good, we're going to do 2 more. Deep, rich breath in. Nice, gentle sigh out. Last one, breathe it in. Maybe you'll feel the shoulders come up, a little bit of tension creep in. And then as you exhale through the mouth, just let it all go. Good. So send some final ease and softness to those last places after that final sigh. And just take a few moments to settle and arrive on your mat this evening. Allowing yourself to just check in and see how you are. So ask yourself, how am I? How am I feeling right now in this moment? And you know, it's not something we often have time to do. That's why yoga's great. It gives us that opportunity. But it's okay if it feels a bit unfamiliar to have this chat. And it's also okay if you're not sure. I sometimes answer with, I don't know how I am today or right now. But even that digging, that little exploration of how you are, whether it's the physical body, your mind and your to-do lists, your emotions, your energy levels, whatever it is that resonates for you, just listen. It's about just building a little bit of awareness, a little bit of context before we begin to move and to breathe. And the more you develop this internal dialogue, the more familiar you are with that voice, with those thoughts, feelings. And the more you build a picture of yourself, I mentioned, I can't remember the artist now, it's gone. I mentioned this artist the other day where the intricacy of the detail as you zoom into his paintings, they're in Venice, teeny tiny people, anyway, it doesn't matter, are really intricate as you zoom in. And then as you zoom out, there's another picture, you know, that's just as beautiful and detailed. So these little moments, it's almost think of it as getting that detail so that when you zoom out and look at yourself as a whole, it's there, it's detailed, it's got that intricacy. Yoga helps us to understand the detail of ourselves, and therefore making this beautiful picture. So what's the detail for you in this moment? And then know that you're exactly where you need to be. The next chunk of your evening is just about moving and breathing, and being with your body, being with your breath. So really reside in that and commit to the next 45 minutes or so. Each time your mind wanders away from that painting, away from you, guide it back gently. Your mat represents you, your time. No one else and nothing else. This is where we fill up our cup, right? Take a nice long exhale and start to find our breath if you haven't already. So breathing in through the nose for a count of 1, 2, 3, and breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Deep, rich breaths in, 2, 3, and long, slow breaths out, 2, 1. Keeping that breath now with you for your practice. That's your tether. That's how you stay connected to your body. And hopefully, as we start to cultivate this nice, deep, rich breath, any thoughts, feelings from that little check-in will just gently start to ebb away as we just really turn the focus in now to the physical body. As you inhale, belly rises. As you exhale, belly falls. Wishing you all a wonderful practice this evening. On your next exhale, we're just going to drop the head down and let it be really heavy. So chin to chest. Have a nice stretch through the back of the neck. And really notice where you feel that. You might start to feel it across the tops of the shoulders a little bit. Maybe the upper back as well as the neck. Try and keep everything else in place and literally just drop the head, chin to chest. And if it feels okay, we're just going to start to move across to the left. So almost think about bringing your left earlobe to the top of the left shoulder. You might need to kind of angle the chin a little bit here. Just some teeny tiny movements will change how this feels. And by all means, guys, if your legs are getting a little bit agitated, you can always cross the ankles the other way just for a little switch. And you can stay here if it's enough, or your right hand's going to reach out to the side, maybe on a brick, maybe fingertips, just to encourage a little bit more length through the top of the shoulder, through the side of the neck. And if you want a little bit more, you can even take your left hand and just drape it to the side of the face. We're not pulling, we're just kind of using the weight of the hand. And if you want to give that a little more, almost press your temple, your cheek into your fingers and your palm. Good, and just notice how that feels. Nice. As you exhale, chin back down to center, just kind of reset, allow maybe the head to be heavy again. And then when you feel ready, we'll go over to the other side. So thinking about the left side of the body, and the right ear finding the top of the right shoulder. And again, maybe this is enough, those little micro movements by just angling the chin a little. or you've got those little extras where we reach out the left hand and drape the right hand. And one side might feel different to the other. I don't think I need to drape on this side with my hand. It might be enough just in the reach or even just in the earlobe towards the shoulder. So just listen to your body. It's your movement this evening. I want to do things that feel good. Nice. And then on your next exhale, just gently bring the chin back down to the chest and start to kind of reach the arms forward now and hollow out the chest like you're trying to scoop the air around you. And maybe you interlace the fingers and it's almost like you're trying to push your knuckles and fingertips away from you and hollow out the chest and spread the upper back and the shoulder blades apart. Good. And then release, drop the thumbs and kind of push the air out now away from you and take the fingertips behind you as we broaden through the front of the chest and do the opposite, draw the shoulder blades together. You might reach the fingertips down, you might press the hands into the lower back, you might even interlace the fingertips behind you, or you might just keep the reach going. Whatever feels good. It's the beauty of your at-home practice. You can just do what feels good for you. And you should do that in classes anyway, but sometimes we look around and we're like, oh, I better do it like the person next to me. So be free to make your own shapes this evening. On your next inhale, let's reach the arms up now and let's pretend we're holding a huge full moon. That's a nice image, isn't it? And you might even lift the chin a little bit. And we're just going to take a nice side stretch here. So let's go over to the left and stretch out the right side body. If you want, you can do some wrist circles, some opening and closing of the fingers, some flexing and extending of the wrist as well as the rotations. And then you can either stay here, think about the shoulders drawing down, be mindful they're not kind of up by the ears, or you can float the lowest hand down and take it a little bit deeper. Really working into the right side body now, without crunching too much into the left, yeah? Good, notice how that feels. Great, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, we'll go to the other side, but we'll keep that like V shape as if we're holding the moon. And again, really try to draw the shoulders down. And this time, if you want, you can do a little bit of rotating of the shoulders. It's almost like you're kind of waving up to the sky. See if you can really rotate from the top of the upper arm. Good, and then same thing, maybe we float down and we go a little bit deeper. Nice. Good. Try and keep the spine long, almost like lean back against an imaginary wall behind you. Beautiful, then come back to center and just release the hands down onto the lap and maybe the knees a little bit further. And we'll just do some circles with the rib cage. So go slowly with these. Sometimes they can aggravate nerves and things if you go a little bit too ambitious on the first few circles. So just think of your rib cage as like rotating. I tend to think of a tornado when I do this. That's the that's me being a lover of the weather. So yeah, a tornado or stirring a pot, I don't mind what you think of, but just kind of rock around on your pelvis a little bit. It's almost like you're coming forward onto the sides and the back of the sit bones. And that's kind of rotating all the way up to the shoulders. And you can get into it as much as you want once you've done a few rotations. And maybe you change directions. It feels really nice. It's almost like you're cleansing the spine. Nice. Great. Okay, give everything a little shake. And hopefully we're all facing the long edge of the mat. Just lean back and start to kick your heels out, wider than hip width and softness to the knees. And we're just going to swish the knees from side to side. So as you do this, one hip will lift and the other, you'll almost be going onto the outside edge of the hip, maybe even the thigh. Inhale to center and exhale to swish. Good. And then next time you're over to the right, let's stay there. And if you can, get your legs so that you've got 90-degree angles. So one shin is along the long edge of the mat and one shin is towards the short edge of the mat. And you might stay back, just leaning and holding here, or you might be able to go towards that right side of the mat and come forward. Just go as far as feels good for you. This is quite a big stretch for the outer thigh and maybe the hip a little bit and the glute on the right side. So just listen. Do what feels good. Nice. Check in with the breath. Maybe go a little bit lower on your next exhale. Nice. And then come back up to center. Back into center. And we'll just go straight to the other side. So rock on the heels and go to the other side. 90 degrees with the knees. Staying leant back if that's enough. Or facing now over to the left side of the mat. Good. And use your breath, guys, if you want to inhale to lengthen, exhale to ease, just by extending and flexing through the elbows. And if you feel the mind's wandering, just close the eyes, really zone out. Maybe pausing for the last couple of breaths, going a little bit deeper. Great. Slowly come up, back to center. Swish the knees, and this time we're going to kick out the heels into Upavishta Konasana, so a nice wide stance with the heels, and then roll the shoulders back. And it might be that you stay here, you sit tall and you just drive the heels away. You may even want to sit on a brick, or maybe you start to ease yourself forward into a little bit of a deeper version. Yogi's choice though, just listen to your body on this one. We're going to do it again, so don't worry about how deep you go. You can either walk the hands forward if you like to hold your feet. I always like to have a nice connection with my feet, so by all means grab the feet, which will encourage maybe the chin, the chest to come to the earth. Great. Inhale, come back up. Bring in the right foot. We're coming into Janushasana, but a little variation. So the legs are in Janushasana, your right knee's at 90 degrees to your left heel. And then we're going to hold that moon again, and we're going to come into a side version of this. So again, if you reach for your foot, that's great. Or your arm might just drop into the inside of the calf. But this is definitely a side stretch. So we're not facing the leg, we're still facing the long edge of the mat. And it's almost like we're trying to reach the foot with the top hand. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. This is quite an intense side stretch, so just go gently. Don't want to crunch too much into the left side. We'll stretch that out any second now. Notice how the breath is. If it's too much with that top hand, you can just take the hand to the back of the head. That's a nice variation. Good. Okay, so let's come back to center, and we're going to place the right hand down, almost like it might be off the mat slightly, in line with the hip. Sweep the left arm in front of the body and lift up into what I like to call a half wild thing. Yeah, sometimes it's known as gate pose, but it's a little bit more of an opening through the front of the hips and the side. That top hand can reach, or again, it can stay on the back of the head, and you can just tease the elbow behind you. Breathing for 3, for 2. Nice. On 1, sit back down, sweep the torso back to center, And we'll just switch the legs. So left foot in, right heel out. Inhale, find length, and exhale, side bend. Holding that moon again. Notice the breath. Find when we side stretch, the breath can get a bit sticky, yeah? So if you can, really breathe into the side body. Try and close the eyes and send the breath to that rib cage that you're stretching. I find that really helps to smooth the breath a little bit more. For 3, for 2, good. On 1, sweep in front of you. This time the left hand goes out, right arm sweeps in front of the body. Mini wild thing on the other side now. Tease the hips forward as much as feels comfortable. Reach the top hand or take it to the back of the head. Breathing for 3, for 2. Nice, on 1. Come back down, cross the ankles and come into tabletop. So with tabletop this way, your feet might be off the mat and your hands will be off the mat, but hopefully your knees are still on the mat for a bit of cushioning. And we'll just come into some little movements here that feel good for the spine. So we've already done some circles, so maybe some cats and cows. Inhale, dip the belly, roll the shoulders, lift the tailbone, and exhale to round. You might do a little bit of swishing and swaying, and anything else that feels good here. Good. And then from here, we're coming into a little short downward facing dog, but only to kind of transition into a dangle. So walk the hands and the feet towards one another, and then hopefully you're in the center of your mat, just dangling forward. And your version of a dangle, you might want to let the arms flop. You might want to take some nice little sways from side to side. And we're working with the hips a little bit tonight, so if you want to turn the toes out, you can, and just kind of move a little bit into the knees. Good, and actually we'll come down into a yogi squat and we'll just get the hips a little bit more ready for our moon flow. So yogi squat, listen to your body, try and get your heels grounded. It's all right if they're lifted, but as best as you can, try and lengthen through the spine. Hands can be in prayer, or maybe the hands are on the floor just as a little support. And you can stay here, maybe close the eyes and just set a bit of more focus to your practice this evening. Or if you want a little bit more, you can start to push up through the heels and stretch up. And then exhale, come back down. And just do about 10 of those if they feel good. Inhale, push up. Especially if you've had a bit of a long day and your energy's lagging a little bit. It was a struggle to log on. And as you come up, really kind of drive the hips forward and stand tall and reach the arms. And then as you come down, it's to exhale. Good. So wherever you are, maybe do a couple more of those. You can also do them in like a halfway by just lifting the hips and coming down. That's another option. Either way, just get a little bit of movement into the lower half of us. And then whether you're pushing up or rolling up, we'll all come to stand at the top of our mat, well, at the middle of our mats. Still facing the long edge, and we're actually going to step to the left a little bit so that we're kind of in the 1/3 of your mat. It doesn't really matter which, do step to the left actually, step to the left, because I'm going to be saying rights and lefts, so hopefully it works, but you'll get the idea once we get to move. So feet can be hip width or together. I like to have mine hip width for moon salutations because it's just all a little bit wider. So stand tall, roll the shoulders back, and hands to heart center if you wish, but you don't have to, you can just leave them down beside you. And on your next inhale, take a full stretch, hands in prayer above you. And then exhale, take a nice side stretch over to the left. Good, so hands are in prayer, we're side stretching to the left. Nice. And then inhale, you're going to come back to center and stretch to the right. So really plug the feet down and feel that nice side stretch. Try and keep the hips facing forward, Really stretching through the left side now. Good, inhale back to center. As you exhale, hands come back to prayer and we're lifting the right knee up into a little balance. And then as you exhale, we're stepping it out to the side and we're landing in a goddess. Great. Nice. So on the first round, we'll just hold the first few postures so that you get the idea. So with your goddess, your hands can be in cactus, your hands can be at heart center, hands can be on the thighs. Again, up to you guys, your choice. Do what feels nice for you. Sink a little bit lower if you can, really press through the heels. And then on your next inhale, extend the legs, reach the arms like we're making a star with the body. Your right toes are going to turn out, your left toes are going to turn in, and we're coming into Trikonasana. So, you know what you're doing here. We're reaching top hand towards the sky, we're maybe looking up to the top hand, and that bottom right hand is just resting somewhere near the ankle, maybe the big toe. Try and hug this right hip under and feel a lovely stretch through the left side body. Great. As you exhale, face the right leg and bring your hands down to frame the right foot. Your left heel will lift up and then you'll exhale into pyramid pose. Good. So nice and long in the spine. Think of chin to shin. Think of the hips being level. So really pull that right hip back. Kind of swing that left hip forward a little bit so the pelvis is level. And then we're coming into a runner's lunge. So bend deeply into the right knee. Look forward, kind of lift the chest and straight into a low lunge. So your back knee comes down and your arms sweep forward and up. Now I like to hook my thumbs and spread my fingers and really enjoy that opening through the whole of the front body. Back toes can be tucked or you can tuck them and have the foot flat to the floor, whatever feels nice. But we're creating this lovely moon shape from the back foot all the way to the top fingertips. How's the breath? Can you hug that right hip back a little more and press through your right big toe? Nice. As you exhale, hands to the floor and we bring the hands inside the foot. We lift the back knee and we come into Skandasana. So you need to spin your left heel down and deeply bend into the right knee. Maybe the hands are in prayer or maybe they stay grounded. So that's probably the trickiest transition in your moon salutations. From here, we go into a goddess. You've been here before. So a nice low goddess. You can use your hands or you can kind of keep them in prayer. And then we go straight to Skandasana on the other side. Good. Let's pause here and we just reverse it now on the other side. So it's really nice once you get going with it. Sorry if you've done this before and it's super slow. It's nice to slow things down. Right, spin, low lunge. So right knee down, left foot planted, hook the thumbs again and reach up. So in our low lunge on the other side now. Really pull the rib cage through. Try and get the biceps to go behind the ears. Breathing for 3, for 2. Good, on one, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, so in a runner's lunge. And then just imagine someone's lifting your hips to the sky as you extend the legs and fold into pyramid. So there's little variations of pyramid you can do. You can curl the front toes towards you. You can drive the back heel away a little more. If the floor's far away, this is where your bricks come in. So use those as much as you need. Great, spin the right heel down. Move the left hand inside the left foot and open up like you've got a bow and arrow into your Trikonasana. Nice. And again, try and hug this left hip under now and feel a lovely side stretch through the right. Lift the gaze maybe, draw up through the thighs. Good. Push through the feet, engage the side body, pull yourself up, create that nice star shape. Toes turn out to 10 and 2 o'clock and we exhale into our goddess. Great. Okay, so we are stepping, speak properly. We're stepping over to the other side of the mat. So as you come up, see if you can lift that left leg and hover it so that we're back in that little balance and then exhale, feet together, hands down. Great. So we do it all again, step to the other side. Right, let's start to move with the breath now. I think we'll get it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, float the hands down. This time, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it out into your goddess. Nice. Inhale into your star. Exhale, left toes out, right toes in. Trikonasana. Nice. On your next inhale, face the left foot, lift the right heel, and exhale, fold into pyramid. Can you inhale straight into low lunge? So bend the knee, drop the back knee, and reach up as you inhale. Good. Exhale, Skandasana. So hands come inside, back toes tuck, heel plants, toes point up. Nice. And then we inhale, push to center, and exhale, Skandasana on the other side. Great. Inhale, low lunge. So swivel, face the right, and inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, lift the hips and fold. Good. Inhale, Trikonasana. Left heel down, left arm high. Nice. Exhale into goddess. So we come up and then we lower. Good. Inhale, star. Pick up the right foot. Ooh. And then exhale, feet together, hands beside you. All right, let's keep going. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, float the hands down, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it wide, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, Trikonasana to the right. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Face the right leg. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, straight into low lunge if you can. Hook the thumbs, rise. Exhale into your Skandasana. Inhale, journey to center. Exhale, Skandasana to the other side. Inhale, swivel, face the left leg. Low lunge. Can you exhale straight into pyramid? Fold. Inhale, Trikonasana. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Exhale, step over to the right, hands down. Good. Right, let's do one more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Good. Going a little deeper each time. Inhale, center. Exhale, float the hands down, lift the left leg. Exhale, goddess, step wide. Inhale, star. Exhale, Trikonasana to the left. Inhale, face the left leg, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, low lunge. Hook the thumbs, trace the fingertips. Exhale, Skandasana, over to the left. Inhale, goddess in center. Exhale, Skandasana to the right. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, Trikonasana. Exhale, goddess. Nice. Inhale, stand tall, and just exhale, we'll pause here. Bring the hands to the hips and just turn the toes in. Well done, guys. So let's forward fold here and just take a nice little moment to dangle. So we're just going to add on a few little postures here. I'm going to stay kind of in the center of the flow rather than stepping back and forth. Adding on a half moon, a little balance, and some warriors. So just see how you get on. Do what feels good. And if you need your bricks positioned at the ends of the mat, it's time to move them there now for your half moons. Good. From here, maybe shift the heels in, turn the toes out, bend into the knees, and just come up back into our goddess. Nice. Okay, let's go. Inhale, take a star shape. Exhale, let's take Trikonasana to the right. Good. This time on an inhale, bend into the right knee and come into your warrior two. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Flip and reach the right palm, scoop it back. Peaceful warrior. Again, a lovely side bend. Deep into that right knee though still. Strong through the straight leg. Really draw up through the thigh. Maybe look up to the top hand. Hold for 3, for 2, on 1, back to warrior 2. Exhale, let's take extended side angle. If you want, you can take the hand down to a brick or to the inside edge of the foot, yogi's choice. Top hand can be straight or it can be at diagonal, I don't mind. You can even take the bind if you want. Spinning the chest, looking up to the top shoulder. Breathing here for 3, still a deep bend, for 2. Great, on 1, if you need a little rest with that leg, just bend and extend, bring your top hand to your hip and just look forward off the edge of the mat or maybe to your brick. And you're going to reach your right hand forward as you power up through the back leg into your half moon. Using a brick if you want, and just being mindful, I'm quite close to a wall here, we want to lengthen from the heel to the crown of the head. Maybe the top hand reaches up, holding and breathing for 3, stacking shoulders, stacking hips, driving the heel for 2. Good, on 1, can you land back in your warrior 2? So soften into the right knee and see if you can land back. And we'll just do some flying warriors. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Good, one more like that and we'll just hold our warrior 2 just to finish off. Good, can you look over the right hands and go really low with the legs? Super strong. Relax the shoulders, reach the fingertips. Breathe. If you want a little bit more, maybe lift your right heel. We're here for 3, for 2. Good, on 1, drop the heel. Push through the leg, hands to hips and just turn the toes in. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, let's forward fold before we do that on the other side. So yogi's choice, you can just dangle here, maybe catch the elbows, float around. If you want a little bit more, you might want to do a tripod headstand. If you're not sure how to do those, just take the legs nice and wide so the head can come nice and close to the floor. And then you don't want your hands next to your head. You want to create like a little triangle with your 2 hands and the top of the head. And maybe that's enough today. Maybe you stay here. Or maybe you lift the heels and you might just start to come onto the big toes. Once you're on the big toes, it's about engaging the back of the body. A lot of work through the glutes as well. And you might just come up halfway or you might come up all the way. Just go slowly with control, pushing through the hands, pushing through the head. A lot of pressure in the head on this one. I actually find this harder than traditional headstand. But once you've got it, you've got it. It's nice and controlled one to come down and up with. So take your time. And then this time, let's all meet back in our forward fold. We'll turn the toes out, but we'll just move from side to side in our Skandasana a little bit more. So if you stayed with the hands when we did that flow, see if you can push and use the legs to get you through from side to side. Maybe you can come a little bit more upright. Maybe you can hover. Maybe you can go super duper slow. Just see how the mobility and the strength is for those movements. Good, next time you're in center, let's hold. If you want a little more, let's pulse. I know. Stay with me for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Push through the legs, well done. So other side, left toes out, right toes in, arms up, come into Trikonasana. Nice, enjoy that nice side stretch. Good, remember what you know. And then when you're ready, we're bending into the left knee now. We're lifting the torso into our warrior two. Straight into our reverse warrior. So flip and reach, scoop it back. Good. Really nice stretch through the left side body. Good. Still a nice deep bend in that left knee. Strong right leg. Maybe look up to the top hand. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale into your version of extended side angle. So many options with this one. Forearm, hand down to floor, brick, inside leg, outside if you're in Ashtangi usually, or binding if you want. If you did it on the first side, maybe try it on the second side. And then just like before, if you need a little break before your half moon, just extend that leg and then look to your brick or just off the mat, fingertips or brick, and then power up through that back leg. And I always find that bringing the top hand to the hip first to begin with, rather than having the arm kind of flailing around. Add the arm after. Good. Real strong stability through the core, length from crown of head to heel. For 3, for 2. Good, on 1. See if you can land back gracefully in your warrior 2. 3 flying warriors. And then that final hold. Feeling those legs tonight. Really grounding and strengthening the moon salutations are. Let's hold as low as you can. Someone said to me once, create a little seat for your friend with that thigh. Good. They're sitting there now, so we've got to keep it there. If you want a little bit more, this always works into the calf for me when I lift that heel, which is nice. Wakes up the calf. We're here for 3. Gazing over the left fingertips for 2. Good. Drop the heel on 1. Push through the legs, hands to hips, and turn the toes in. Good. So from here, we'll forward fold again. Not for long. We're going to heel toe the feet in all the way. And you have the option to come back into a yogi squat and find your seat from here. Or if that's a bit too much of a badunk, it is for me sometimes, just cross the ankles, yeah? And bring your knees into a nice little bend and find your way down. Nice. Okay, let's kick our heels wide. So we're coming back into this one again. So roll the shoulders back, sit nice and tall, flex the feet. Again, you can stay here or you can start to ease yourself down. Yogi's choice. And just notice how it feels now. It might feel you've got a little bit more space. You may be able to rest your forehead on a prop, or you might be able to create a little stand with your fists, one on top of the other. Just breathe deeply. We're going to be here for a good 10 breaths in total, so let's take another 5. Just notice how the breath is, notice how you're feeling. So our moon salutations are really grounding, but also quite energizing with all that side bending. So it's a nice mixture. So hopefully you're feeling the benefit of that as you go into your evening. If you're here on Thursday, we'll be doing it all again. Next week as well. We tend to, on the slow flows, have like a monthly theme. And this month it's been our moon salutations. So use the hands just to guide the legs in once again. And you might cross the ankles. You might come into a loose Baddha Konasana. Just roll the shoulders back there, and we'll just take a few grounding breaths here just to finish our practice. So close the eyes and let's just bookend the practice with another little check-in. How are we feeling? Did you manage to lose yourself in your body and your breath and the movement? Maybe noticing any subtle shifts or changes. Might feel a little bit more grounded and more open. Whatever's going on, try your best to take that with you into the rest of your evening. Go gently. And we've been working with this idea of thoughts turn into words, words turn into actions, actions become habits, habits form routine, and therefore that's your character, that's your being. So maybe consider the next thoughts you're going to have. Be kind, be gentle, show compassion to yourself and those around you, and that will transpire into words, actions, character, destiny. Well done, guys. Hands to heart center if you wish. Little bow down, chin to chest. Have a lovely rest of the evening. Well done. Have a good one. Sun's shining. Maybe go and have your dinner in the garden if you've got one, or go for a walk in your local park. And yeah, maybe see you in the morning for some hip opening, or Thursday for slow flow again. Thanks, guys. Any questions, just shout out or drop us an email. And yeah, good to see you all.
Thanks, Vicky.
You're welcome. Thanks, Arena. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you, Vicky.
Oh, cheers, guys. Lovely to see you. Bye, Jess. Well done. You're welcome.